Ready? Okay, I'm Alice Rook, and I'm the editor of Do More magazine, and I am here interviewing Mark Davies from passionateaboutenglish.com. Hello.
Hi.
And so I've just got a couple of questions, so I'll start. Mark, what's your background and why are you so passionate about English?
Well, I'll try and be brief, but basically I made the mistake of studying business at university, at Bath University, and I worked in big business for a couple of years, didn't like it. So I bought a one-way ticket to Darwin in Australia, and basically I became a traveller, a backpacker, but long term. And obviously when you're travelling that long you need to earn money sometimes. So when I was in Thailand, somebody suggested teaching English in Japan, and I was hoping to go to South America. So I thought, okay, I'll go to Japan 6 months, but I ended up there 5 years teaching English.
Wow.
And I found I really enjoyed it. I love the English language, literature, and I kind of just fell into it.
And do you speak any other languages?
Well, I learned a bit of Japanese when I was there, but because I never expected to be there that long, I didn't make a big effort. A little bit of French, a bit of Italian, a bit of Turkish. But
so dabbling a little bit.
I have to admit I'm not that good at learning languages, but that's not important to be an English teacher.
Okay. And what made you realise that there was a gap in the market for Passionate About English?
Okay, well, there were two moments. One when I was learning bass guitar, I just Googled bass guitar lessons and discovered a website where he'd just started off, and it was quite cheap. Maybe, I signed up for 3 months, so I got a weekly lesson, about £10. But I found it very, very useful. You download the lesson, the PDF, the backing tracks, and I just found it very different to anything else I could find. Obviously, a lot cheaper than paying a teacher.
And also, you can sort of do it in your own time as well.
Yeah, and unlike when you teach English or bass, the lesson's gone. This, I've still watched them sometimes, even though I've had them for 3 years. And the other moment was when I was watching The Apprentice. Do you watch that?
Yeah, I have seen it. You're fired. Yeah.
And they had to develop an app. And because I particularly love idioms, I had this idea to develop an idioms app. But when I looked into it, it was very expensive and would have to be done very professionally, and I thought it's a lot of trouble. So then I kind of went back and combined it with this idea of learning bass online. I thought, okay, I'll teach English online. It's not actually face to face. It's not live. I record lessons. Okay,
fantastic. And on a sort of daily basis, what do you enjoy most about your job, about teaching English?
Okay, well, I've been doing these free mini lessons June, July and August, and uploading them and so on. The thing I enjoy most about it is I'm in complete control of what I do. I can be as creative. If somebody says, why did you do that? I said, because I can. It's all down to me, it's all up to me. And whether it's
you're the boss.
Whether it's successful or a failure, I call the shots.
Yeah.
And it's great. But also I really do enjoy, well, in some ways I finally found a kind of a purpose.
Yeah,
where I can actually exactly, where I can actually help people.
Yeah.
Even if somehow somebody buys the course and shares it with their friend, I kind of feel, so what, at least I'm doing something useful.
Yeah. And come September, you're going to be doing online courses, aren't you? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Okay, so these mini lessons I've been doing every day. They're kind of to promote the website and get people interested before the courses begin.
Yeah. So
basically, September the 2nd, which is a Monday, that's when the first course is available, and each course is going to have 4 lessons. Each lesson is going to be at least 3 hours, lots of different sections, interviews, questionnaires, looking at TV, looking at songs, jokes, all sorts
idioms.
Of course, idioms, phrasal verbs. Do you know what phrasal verbs are?
I don't.
Look up, sit down, get up, put down, all those sort of things. And collocations, which collocations just mean words that go together naturally. Okay. And lots of other things. And so the first course is available 2nd of September, and it's just £10 for at least 12 hours.
Fantastic.
And of course they can watch them as and when they like, and then the second course will be available beginning of October, but then they're not related to the actual month, so these will be available, well, after I've died, forever.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What would you say is the unique selling point for Passionate About English, and what makes Passionate About English stand out from any other competitors that there are?
Okay, well, in a way, one of the competitors is language schools, but this is totally different to that, really. And of course, you can learn it from home. You don't have to travel to Britain or another country to learn English. And as we've already mentioned, you can watch it as many times as you like, do it in your own time, pause. You can't pause a teacher in a classroom.
Go make a cup of tea.
Exactly. And I looked at a lot of websites, and in my opinion, a lot of them are very traditional, very conservative, and a bit boring. So I've really done my best to make this very modern and funny.
And very personal as well.
Entertaining, yeah. I sort of put my heart into it, if you like. But always to make it useful. That's the key thing. But I think a lot of people, when they learn something, they almost expect it to be hard and serious. But, anything where you learn, that it can be fun as well.
Yeah, so learning can be fun, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And do people send you in requests for what they, for videos?
Yeah, I've asked. In fact, I had one last night from a French girl. I put out a sort of a request for some songs to look at during the courses, and she said Morcheeba, the Sea, anything by Dire Straits, and I forget the other two. So yeah, I'm
fantastic. Okay,
obviously I'm trying to get interaction going.
Brilliant. And what do you, obviously, this is what you do. So what do you think about e-learning, and how do you think learning online will progress in the future? With the technology so amazing, everyone can learn on their iPhone on the go all the time, and how do you think it will? Do you think there'll be a need for teaching sort of in the classroom?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the big disadvantage is there's no kind of real personal relationship. So I mean, I will be available for them to send me emails and put comments on Facebook and so on, but there's not that one-to-one interaction.
One-to-one rapport,
but I presumably the program Dragon's Den, I think. One of them was commenting a while ago and said, learning online is the big business. I don't think of it as a business. I think of it more as doing something good, and if I can make some money out of it, fantastic. But I mean, and especially teaching English, there's probably there's no bigger market in the world where there's so many potential customers. I mean, there's not millions, there's actually billions really, of people who could be interested in this. And if I can get a tiny fraction of those, then I've succeeded.
Well, everywhere you go, you see people on their iPhones or smartphones, don't you? So on the bus and walking around. So I think it's fantastic. I had a look at your Facebook page, and you've got an incredibly high following, which is fantastic. Obviously, Do More Magazine has a Facebook, and would you like to shed some light on how you've achieved such a great number of followers?
Well,
it's very impressive.
Well, yes, it's about 6 weeks, and it was just below 20,000 likes before I left home, but within a few hours it will be over 20,000.
Fantastic.
I watched a program a while ago, last week actually, about companies offering to buy likes, which just seemed a total ridiculous thing. But on Facebook there is a facility where you can promote your page.
Like boost your post, can't you? Yeah.
Well,
is it that?
No, it's not boosting each post, although I do that as well. I promote the page, and I'm not entirely clear, but somehow I choose the countries. So, for example, for today's lesson, I kind of, it depends on how I feel, but I chose South American countries.
Right.
Peru, Chile, Brazil. And I actually have a lot of people in Peru and Chile, not so many in Brazil and Argentina. So I might click on £13. You can choose the amount, and then those go out, somehow appear on people's Facebook pages.
Yeah, like in their newsfeed sort of thing.
Yeah, but then they obviously have to decide whether they actually do like it or not. And then each time I put a lesson on, I can also boost. Again, you can pay £3 or £7, £10, £30. So I tend to pay. This is just leading up to the first course. Usually I choose £13 boost, and which countries, and then it goes out. And again, it's just making people aware.
Yeah, I was going to say it's been a brilliant way of boosting awareness.
Yeah, I mean, when I say 20,000, people can't believe it really.
I know.
But it's just such a huge market.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, were you surprised by?
Well, I've always felt that this will work. Unfortunately, because I've been so absorbed in recording mini lessons and getting ready to do the first course, I haven't had enough time to give out leaflets to all the schools in Bournemouth and do other marketing. So I've and because it was so successful, I've sort of become a bit dependent on that.
Yeah.
But
are you on Twitter as well, or?
Yeah, like I say, I should be.
Just Facebook, yeah.
But yes.
Well, it's obviously working really well.
It's early days,
and
this might take a year or two. Who knows?
And my last question for you is, where do you want to take Passion About English in the future? What's your what's your sort of goal?
Well, the courses I'm doing, they're going to be 12 courses over the year, and it's kind of for anybody really who's not a complete beginner. But in the future, I hope to do a beginner's course. I hope to do courses for the different English exams.
Yeah.
Possibly a business course. But actually, I've also bought passionateaboutturkish.com, passionateaboutitalian.com, French, Japanese, German.
Oh wow, so you're going to branch out.
Yes, but my big idea is actually to be a dummy student. So I actually go to Paris, and either I know people there or I find people, and I ask them to teach.
That's a brilliant idea.
So it's not the teacher taking the lead. I'm actually saying, how do I say this in French? And then maybe I go to a restaurant and practice a bit of the French I've learned, and then things I don't know, I can ask the waiter, how do I ask for the bill? Or what's the speciality?
That's a really good idea.
French?
Yeah, because you're putting yourself in that vulnerable situation and people can relate to that.
Yeah, and I don't think anything like that's been done before either. And again, it's something I'll absolutely love to do.
Fantastic. Right, well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Alice.
Thank you.